Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know this rush hour of October 21, Monday. I'm Riza Diaz. Starting off today's rush with PVOCs recommending the relocation of residents from earthquake-affected barangays in Davao del Sur. The agency says one area in Barangay Malawanit is even at risk of more landslides. Here's the report.
It required a 3-kilometer habal-habal ride for News 5 to reach Sitio Labidangan, Upper Bala in Magsaysay. A few landslides could be seen along the way. When a team reached the area, the damage became more visible. Houses piled up like dominoes, while others turned into rubbles. Even places of worship were not spared. The village water tank was destroyed as it is just a few meters away from a huge ground fissure, which according to residents, extend up to 2 kilometers. With such damage, forced evacuation was ordered. But residents can't help but ask for help.
Mag-evacuate na kami sa baba kasi yun ang order sa amin.
Gusto ko sanang manawagan sa mahal na Pangulo na kami dito sa Sitio Labidangan, Barangay Upper Bala, nangangailangan kami ng tulong. Lalo na sa mga pinansyal at saka pagkain. So, kahit hindi lang yan sir, kahit anong klaseng tulong na dumating sa amin, tatanggapin namin. Nang sa ganun, maibsan lang yung mga pangangailangan ng mga tao.
PVOC's earthquake team also inspected Purok 6 in Barangay Malawanit, where an estimated 20 hectares of land is in the brink of collapse.
This area is a landslide-prone area kahit na hindi pa siya nag-earthquake. So ang evidence natin dito ay yung topography niya, yung steep ng lupa, plus kung titingin tayo doon sa other side ng ridge, doon sa kabila, makikita natin na may mga old landslide scarps siya.
Because of the massive damage, residents are prohibited to return to Sitio Labidangan in Upper Bala and Purok 6 in Malawanit. The PVOCs also recommended to relocate the residents of the areas.
So pag nagkaroon ng intense rainfall, the rain will enter dito sa mga cracks na to, tapos yun yung pag-trigger para mag-fail ulit yung lugar dito.
But community leaders and residents say that won't be easy.
Ayaw sana kung pwede lang sa kanila, hindi kami lumipat dyan. Sabi sa LGU, hindi daw pwede bumalik dyan kasi para safety daw ang buhay namin. Sabi nila, hanap sila ng tirahan namin dito. Ang problema, wala kaming hanap buhay.
Mas delikado nung una, mas delikado ngayon. So napakahirap, hindi kung gusto mong may planong bumalik doon ng mga tao, dapat pag-isipan muna nila ng mga 1,000 basis ba. Kasi ang pagsisisi nasa huli.
Relief efforts are in full swing in the 2 barangays, but a total of 110 families need to be relocated. For News 5, Jenny Dongon, we are One News.
The camp of Bongbong Marcos cries foul, saying the group of Vice President Leni Robredo received advance information on recount a turnout. But Robredo's team says this is impossible and just tells the losing camp to move on. Here's why.
The High Court sitting as Presidential Electoral Tribunal has yet to decide on Bongbong Marcos's electoral protest lodged against Vice President Leni Robredo. Amid this, word war continues between both parties. Results of the preliminary recount in the 3 provinces chosen by Marcos favored Robredo, who had gained some 15,000 votes in the process. Numbers from the initial recount now puts Robredo's lead over Marcos at 278,000. The Marcos camp says the figures came from a revision report by Justice Benjamin Caguiwa and was only a minority opinion favoring Robredo. They added that this is the reason why the High Court decided to continue with the poll protest. Marcos's camp also said that the resolution just proves their suspicion that the early celebration made by Robredo's team was a product of advance information they've been receiving. Robredo's camp denies this, saying it's impossible for their rival camp to be blindsided about the results of the recount since all parties had representatives during the process.
Nagkakandara pa sila to try and find some way to justify yung kanilang gusto magtuloy itong protesta, despite the fact na clearly in the recount of the 3 provinces that they chose, talo sila.
As the two parties work to submit their comment on the recount results, Robredo's camp urges the Marcos group to move on, just like what his family had told martial law critics.
Former Senate President Nene Pimentel has passed away at the age of 85. His son, Senator Coco Pimentel, says the late legislator was sick with lymphoma, which is a form of cancer which begins in infecting fighting cells of the immune system. Now, the sickness had spread throughout his body, affecting many organs, including the heart. Senator Nene was one of the well-known opposition leaders during the Marcos era and is the founder of President Duterte's current party, PDP Laban. He is also known to be the father of the local government code. Malacanang thanks him for his long, fearless, and principled track record of public service. Palace spokesman Salpanelo said he would forever be etched in our history as a giant among his peers who championed democracy and electoral reform, and a visionary who espoused devolution of powers and strong local governance. Presidential Communications Secretary Martin Andanar, on the other hand, said the former senator was an inspiration to many, making a difference not only through legislation, but later on through his advocacy such as federalism. Andanar added that Senator Pimentel was a true public servant. Meanwhile, Senate President Tito Sotto recalled the years he shared with Pimentel in the Senate. He said his 6 years with him from 1998 to 2004 were very educational, not only in politics, but also in family matters. And here are the biggest stories from the dailies. 2-year probationary status for workers. Nope, Malacanang is not having it. The Philippine Star reports that Palace sees the proposal to extend the probationary period for employees, running counter to President Duterte's push for security of tenure. The PNP has undergone a major reshuffle of key officials after former PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde stepped down last week. At least 20 ranking positions, including the post for the CIDG, the Drug Enforcement Group, and Integrity Monitoring and Enforcement Group, were filled in a series of new orders which took effect on Sunday. Filipino Star ngayon reports that the order was issued by Acting Chief of Directoral Staff Guillermo Elizar even before the President can appoint a new Chief of Police. And 2 more firms are looking to go public before the year ends. Business World reports that Calcom and Frutas have secured approval from the Securities and Exchange Commission for their stock market listing next month. Tech firm Calcom seeks to raise 9 billion pesos in the public offer, while Frutas eyes juicing out 1 billion pesos from the sales of its shares. A performance by a group of media and literature students has gained mixed reactions online after highlighting the social issues of the country, what the country is facing today. Here's the story.
UPV, sabay-sabay nating saksihan, buhay ng mga totoong lingkod bayan!
UP Visayas kicked off its Pahampang season, where all academic organizations bested each other through an annual cheering competition. And the winning performance by a group of media and literature students called Skimmers took social media by storm after highlighting social issues faced by the country today. This included the divorce bill and the drug war. The state of our country's health. And even the government's plan to push mandatory ROTC to senior high school students. But The most daring statement of the group was condemning the president for his failure to take a stand against China on the issue of the West Philippine Sea. This has caught the attention of several Facebook pages, including OWA Deputy Chief Mocha Uson, which made the performers a target of threats and harassment by members of these pages. The attacks went as far as the sharing of personal information of members online. Through a joint statement by the UP Visayas community, the students expressed their support for the Skimmers and condemned the blatant attacks of doxing and harassment that targeted its members. And despite the increased red tagging in the university, the council said that they will not tolerate any kind of unjust behavior against its constituents. Malacanang has not yet issued a statement regarding this performance as of this moment. Let's fast break now to Sports Rush. 27 athletes, 6 games, and 1 nation. The Philippine national esports team is all set for the upcoming Southeast Asian Games. Let's watch this sama-sama sa SEA Games.
Bago pa man magkapangalan, alam nating ito ang kinabukasan. Iba't ibang pinanggalingan, ngunit sabay-sabay umaangat. Nagsisikap upang mabuo ang isang pangarap. Hanggang dumating ang pinakamalupit na pagkakataon upang magkaisa at lumaban. Di lang bilang isang pambansang koponan, kundi bilang isang bayan. Gaano man kamunti ang ating pinagmulan, basta't matatag ang ating mga ugat, sisibol din tayong matatag. Iisang bandera, hindi matitinag. Iisang sigaw, pusong matatag. Iisang kilos.
Lakad matatag!
Now, another episode of Manila Classico just unraveled. Even the return of hotshots Romeo Travis wasn't enough to spoil the barangay's hot shooting. Justin Brownlee was simply unstoppable as he mounted 27 points, 10 assists, and 9 boards, just a rebound away from his 4th triple-double this conference. That helped the Gin Kings gallop away in the 3rd frame, and they never looked back. With momentum on their side, the barangay led as much as 27 at one point before improving their win-loss record to 3-2. Meanwhile, in true Ginebra fashion, San Miguel staged an epic comeback against the Colombian Jeep. Down 11 points in the home stretch, the Beermen successfully turned things around with a 24-4 run that brought them the lead. San Miguel improved to a 5-1 and dodged a season sweep by the Jeep, who stumped them in their first 2 meetings. But all is well that ends well thanks to Des Wells, who powered SMB with 39 points, outscoring even Colombians import Capri Alston, who exploded for 38 points.
You know, we fought hard. You know, Colombia is a really good team. They play hard. They play with their backs against the wall, and I got a lot of respect for that team. So, you know, each game is going to be a grind. You know, this is a tough league, and I got a lot of respect for the players in this league. So, each and every night we got to come out, we got to play hard, and we have to play smart.
And that's how the day is shaping up to be. Join us again next time for another round of Rush. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.